Trying to get everything ready here. Boy, I'm running late. Why am I running late? 8:02 this morning. Sorry about that. Show's supposed to start at 8. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. There are all the full numbers. You could reach the show, email the show. Anytime you want, you can email me. Reach the show right there. 8:03 this morning. Temperature's a little warmer than yesterday. Got a lot going on today. All right, so trying to think. It's always that one, where do I start at? So yesterday started the impeachment inquiry, not inquiry, I guess inquiry, whatever. So yesterday started the impeachment with, Kent and Bill Taylor, all right? You know that movie, okay? That movie that you see the previews and you say, I want to go see that, right? So they really build up the previews. They've got some big stars in the movie. A guy that's got a voice like Edward R. Murrow. I mean, it was even being talked about how nice of a voice. Now, we're looking to impeach. The Democrats are looking to impeach a president of the United States, and we're talking about the voice of Bill Taylor. Anyhow, and they show you all of the highlights, and you say, I want to go see that movie. I want to see that movie. And when you get there and you're watching the movie, you realize the funniest or the best parts of the movie is what they put in the highlights. Movie's a bomb. And you come out of the theater and you say, according to the previews, I really thought this would be a good movie. Just saying, that's yesterday. I mean, if in fact, let's just say this, okay, at the chance of, in fact, let's say the president committed an impeachable offense, okay? I was looking for it yesterday. Because if and when someone in this country abuses the power to the point that they need removed from office, I'm not going to turn a Democrat blind eye to it. I'm not going to turn a Republican blind eye to it. I would be open-minded. Look, I would come to you this morning to highlight the impeachable offenses that I was able to pull out with the President of the United States. Adam Schiff lied several times yesterday. We'll play one of the biggies, okay? Jim Jordan did the job he was intended to do, and he did it. He got the job done. So did Nunes. So did Ratcliffe. Actually, Will Hurd. Now, that's the concern that many had, was Congressman Will Hurd from Texas. And even Will Hurd highlighted that Ukraine has gotten much needed military support, money, support, weapons from day one in the Trump administration. Now, interestingly, because most people will not put this together, there was even testimony yesterday that from the first round of money that got released, money gets released from the first round of money that got released. Just the other day, I'll say this, you can find it in the testimony if you want to go through the 12 hours of nothing. But just the other day, a weapon system or weapons from the first round of money showed up. So it's not exactly that they do a wire transfer. Once 200 million is approved for foreign aid, whether it's weapons, whatever it may be, military aid, it's not like a wire transfer goes to Ukraine and they're looking at their bank account and they see $200 million, okay? So what was explained yesterday, and I think it was from Kent, okay? What was explained yesterday was that Ukraine has just received some things that were released in the very first round of financial military much needed. You hear much needed military aid. If it was much needed military aid, why didn't they back in 2017? We're in 2019. Why not in 2017 did they not fast track some of this equipment that just showed up in 2019 from the first aid package in 2017? When it was the former president of Ukraine. So, bad movie, all the highlights, CNN, MSNBC, they don't know what to do because they tried everything to get you interested in this. And yesterday and this morning, they only have one takeaway. That Sondland had a conversation with the president on the telephone, I think while at lunch, while Sondland's sitting there with one of Bill Taylor's employees, somebody that works in his department, that overheard Trump say, "How's it going with Biden's investigation?" Really? That was yesterday. They actually needed something new for the headlines. New. Because they were well aware yesterday there would be no headlines this morning. So they created headlines once again. When is the last time, okay? Let me say this to you, okay? When is the last time they got President Trump on something and it ended up being true? What I mean is these phone calls, these things that happen. You have all these anonymous sources. Now, this guy's not anonymous. He's going to testify in a couple days. So let's get to this. And then we'll talk about, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Here we go. Let's go to, let me see which one I want first, Destiny. Because this happened. All right, you remember when the media, was running, and when I say that, CNN, MSNBC, just running over and over Bill Taylor's clear understanding. He clearly understood this. You remember they did all the roundtables. We talked about it. Let's go to the video that says a clear understanding. Jim Jordan yesterday. Play the clear understanding from Bill Taylor.
Ambassador Taylor recalls that Mr. Morrison told Ambassador Taylor that I told Mr. Morrison that I conveyed this message to Mr. Yarmak on September 1st, 2019 in connection with Vice President Pence's visit to Warsaw and a meeting with President Zelensky. Now, this is his clarification. Let me read it one more time. Ambassador Taylor recalls that Mr. Morrison told Ambassador Taylor that I told Mr. Morrison that I conveyed this message to Mr. Yarmak on September 1st, 2019 in connection with Vice President Pence's visit to Warsaw and a meeting with President Zelensky. We got 6 people having 4 conversations in one sentence, and you just told me this is where you got your clear understanding. Based on this, I mean, I've seen church prayer chains that are easier to understand than this.
Ambassador Taylor's clear understanding. Well, see, they knew that Jordan was going to chop up that clear understanding Ambassador Taylor had. And they knew that Jordan and the rest of the Republicans, especially Jordan, would pounce on the fact that, guess what? Ambassador Taylor has met with the Ukrainian president 3 times. Even after the phone call, and the Ukrainian President Zelensky never told Ambassador Taylor of any kind of push, any kind of request of an investigation, and any quid pro quo. Nothing whatsoever did he discuss with Ambassador Taylor. You remember part of the supposedly deal was Zelensky was supposed to come out to CNN and do a statement in front of the camera. Yet to be done to this day. never mentioned to Ambassador Taylor. They forgot to tell you that. Now I'm going to get to just in a minute because yesterday they could not. These are the headlines this morning. All right. Now the communists. Let me see which the next one I have. See who this is. Hold on there. Let's go with the communist Chris Wallace. Do you have that one for Fox News? Let's run the communist Chris Wallace from Fox News.
Well, as somebody who's covered a lot of trials, and I know Judge Starr has probably been in a lot more than I have, when you listen to direct examination and the prosecutor is talking to the plaintiff and the plaintiff is getting a chance to tell his story, it usually is pretty devastating. And then when you get cross-examination by the defense attorney, sometimes it turns out not to be quite as effective. So you have to be somewhat cautious in reacting to what we've heard so far. We haven't heard what Devin Nunes or his lawyer, Stephen Castor, is going to ask. Having said that, I think that William Taylor was a very impressive witness and was very damaging to the president. First of all, as you pointed out, he took very copious notes at almost every conversation. When he put quotes in his opening statement, he said those were direct quotes from what was said. It also doesn't hurt that he has a voice like Edward R. Murrow, so he's a pretty impressive presence up there, and I think very non-political. He went out of his way to talk about what he knew, what he was specifically testament to. The only thing he talked about was a strong feeling that it was in the U.S. national security interests to support Ukraine in the fight against Russia. But he certainly wasn't taking any partisan position. I thought the two most important parts of his testimony were his recounting, and this is new news, July 26. He says he has found out since he testified before the committee in closed doors that Gordon Sondland, who was really kind of the point person between President Trump and the Ukrainians, much more so than Taylor was, who never actually talked to the president, was on the phone in a restaurant in Ukraine with the president on July 26th, the day after the Trump-Zelensky phone call, and that he could overhear, the staff member for Taylor could overhear the president saying, "What about the investigations?" So clearly the investigations, and by that Taylor thought the investigations into the Democrats in 2016, also the investigation into Biden, that was very much on the president's mind. And then the aide asked Sondland what the president thought about Ukraine, and this is a quote from the Taylor statement. Ambassador Sondland responded that President Trump cares more about the investigations of Biden, which Giuliani was pressing for. He was asked, cared about it more than, and Taylor said Ukraine. One other exchange. Daniel Goldman asked him, have you ever seen, and remember, this is a guy who has spent 40 years, almost 40 years in the Foreign Service, have you ever seen foreign aid conditioned on the political interest of the president? And Taylor said very firmly, no, I have not.
First of all, William Taylor's very damaging testimony. Can you believe what they are reporting? Very damaging testimony. William Taylor, he's quite the note taker. See, they set this up. And that's what's interesting to me is how we need to pay attention to how they set things up. Do you understand? Chronological order was, first of all, to lead you to believe, the communist Chris Wallace, to lead you to believe that William Taylor, his testimony was very damaging. And then he's an avid note taker. And then he's very soothing on the ears. He has a voice like Edward R. Murrow. So he did the whole setup. But then he went into, on the 26th, Gordon Sondland on the phone in a restaurant. Now, what they want you to believe, and I want to know this from the president, I want to know how he opens up a conversation. All right? I want to know how he opens up the conversation. I want to know if he... See, let me just back up a little bit. Okay, years ago, okay, I will open up. Are you able to talk? Can you talk? Okay, that's 8 out of 10 times when I call you, I will open up. Can you talk? Okay, Now, years ago, and I know the president's a very smart man. He is a brilliant genius. He's self-described brilliant genius, the president of the United States. But I come from a generation that if I dialed the phone, I knew you answered it in your kitchen. So I knew I could say, "Hey, how are you?" if you answered the phone, and you know what's going on. I knew years ago if I dialed the phone, I got you at your office. Okay? But since the day of the cell phone has come out, there's all kinds of new phone etiquette. Now, I don't know what the President of the United States uses, but you can't just call somebody and just go into something. For the most part, if you use phone etiquette, you don't know if they're standing in the line at the bank. You don't know, and if somebody says, "Can I call you right back?" I mean, you don't know if they're in the grocery store line. You don't know where they're at. They could be in something very private. I mean, seriously, that they cannot take the call. So what you want us to believe is that Gordon Sondland, because if these are the dumbasses we've got working for us, we've got a bigger problem than this. You remember the other day I told you there's dumb? Remember? We talked about that. There's dumb. People do dumb things. Dumb things happen, right? We've talked about that, right? And then there's that damn dumb. You want me to believe that the EU ambassador, Gordon Sondland, and the President of the United States are that damn dumb, right? That the President calls him at a restaurant and Sondland doesn't think about, okay, I don't know about the guy sitting next to me. All right, maybe I should have this conversation at a different time. Yes, Mr. President. Well, I was about to eat my salad. Yes. Yes, I have a steak ordered. Yes, medium. Yes, just like you told me, sir. Yes. The little potatoes, yes, I have the little potatoes. And you want to know about the investigation? Sure. Hold on. Let me ask the waiter for a little more of the dressing. Can I get a little more dressing on my salad? Yes, Mr. President. Yes, I've already told him, we're going to kick Biden's ass in 2020, and we got to have this information. And then he's looking over at the guy. Shh, you didn't hear nothing. Shh, just give it out. All right. I don't want him to know. I don't want him to know that you're here with me and I'm in a restaurant. Maybe it happened. I don't know. Seriously. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If the President of the United States of America blew out a phone call like being described, okay? If they did. And there was this other person sitting there in a restaurant, and Sondland discussed it with the other person, okay? Just how damn dumb are these people if it happened? I don't think it did. But that's all they had yesterday. So Chris Wallace said, more about Biden. What does the president think? What about the investigation the president wants to know? Okay, there was a staff member there. One of Taylor's staff members are there. Overheard. Okay, so he said he overheard the president say, "What about the investigation?" And then he got off the phone. He said, "What does the president think of Ukraine? He thinks more about the Biden investigation than he does Ukraine." Okay. Overhearing a phone conversation. Folks, you need to stay clear on this. They are intending to impeach and remove a president of the United States. Polling. If the actual truth and the facts 3 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago would not have been set up this way since the day of the phone call by the corrupt media, those polling numbers would be nowhere near. The polling numbers are only where they're at due to and based on the corrupt media pushing people to believe something happened that didn't. That simple. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back after these brief messages.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
Okay, do you think, I'm your host, BKP, good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Do you think there's any way whatsoever that journalism out there, journalists out there, news networks that claim to be news networks are explaining the details on Burisma, corruption, the Ukraine corruption, like the third most corrupt country in the world, I think it is, and that corruption and concern in Ukraine and your tax money is long before Donald Trump, okay? So the guy George Kent yesterday was questioned about Burisma. Now, they will not bring in Hunter Biden. Won't do it. So that is supposedly the core of the phone conversation is Donald Trump's political opponent And they are crying foul that our Constitution says that we could never lower ourselves to let a sitting president have a foreign government investigate a political opponent, which is not true. It's corruption. So George Kent, Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, is going to explain that to you now because nobody else is explaining it this morning. Let's watch that video. Okay, come back to me. All right, we're going to reset it. It froze there, okay, and that happened. So Destiny's going to reset that video. Okay, she's going to get it reset. And she's going to get it reset, and when she does, just go ahead and go with it, all right? Just go ahead and go with it. Just put it up, because we can't bring in Hunter Biden. We can let the Democrats lie. We can let Swalwell think he is really impressing people, all right? But we can't bring in Hunter Biden. All right, let's go with the video. Watch this. It's 3 minutes long, but it's something you're not hearing out.
My experience with long-standing U.S. interest in supporting anti-corruption efforts in Ukraine. This work gave me a front-row seat to problematic activities by successive prosecutors general in Ukraine. For many of the issues this committee is investigating, my knowledge and understanding is sometimes firsthand and sometimes comes from others involved in specific conversations and meetings. This is no different than how anyone learns and carries out his or her job responsibilities. I have been and remain willing to share my factual observations with the committee and will make clear when those are based on personal knowledge or from information gleaned from others. U.S. efforts to counter corruption in Ukraine focus on building institutional capacity so that the Ukrainian government has the ability to go after corruption and effectively investigate, prosecute, and judge alleged criminal activities using appropriate institutional mechanisms. That is, to create and follow the rule of law. That means that if there are criminal nexuses for activity in the United States, U.S. law enforcement should pursue the case. If we think there's been a criminal act overseas that violates U.S. law, we have the institutional mechanisms to address that. It could be through the Justice Department and FBI agents assigned overseas, or through treaty mechanisms, such as the Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty. As a general principle, I do not believe the United States should ask other countries to engage in selective, politically associated investigations or prosecutions against opponents of those in power, because such selective actions undermine the rule of law, regardless of the country. The pervasive and long-standing problem of corruption in Ukraine included exposure to a situation involving the energy company Burisma. The primary concern of the U.S. government since 2014 was Burisma's owner, Mykola Zlochevsky, whose frozen assets abroad we had attempted to recover on Ukraine's behalf. In early 2015, I raised questions with the Deputy Prosecutor General about why the investigation of Mr. Zlochevsky had been terminated, based on our belief that prosecutors had accepted bribes to close the case. Later, I became aware that Hunter Biden was on the board of Burisma. Soon after that, in a briefing call with the National Security Staff of the Office of the Vice President in February of 2015, I raised my concern that Hunter Biden's status as a board member could create the perception of a conflict of interests. Let me be clear, however, I did not witness any effort by any U.S. official to shield Burisma from scrutiny. In fact, I and other U.S. officials consistently advocated reinstituting a scuttled investigation of Zlochevsky, Burisma's founder, as well as holding the corrupt prosecutors who closed the case to account. Over the course of 2018 and 2019, I became increasingly aware of an effort by Rudy Giuliani and others, including his associates Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman, to run a campaign.
All right, folks, 2014, 2015, as that moves along, let's see, President Trump was elected in 2016. So Kent would then go and report to none other than the Vice President of the United States staff, Joe Biden. Nothing to see here. Counter-corruption in Ukraine. Burisma found that the owner was crooked. He was in exile with his assets frozen in 2015, raised questions that prosecutors may have accepted bribes to close the case into this oligarch. At the same time, Hunter Biden is on the board of Burisma, making $50,000 a month. Frachetsky, or whatever his name, the oligarch, the criminals. Folks, that last minute and a half, is that not enough? I mean, if Kent is a bombshell witness for the Democrats, if they are taking every word in his testimony to be accurate and true, same thing with Bill Taylor, we have much more of that. Would that clip alone not be enough to bring Hunter Biden in to ask questions? Now, think of it this way. Bill Taylor says he has one of his people in his staff, and he amended his testimony that says he overheard Sondland talking to the president, and now we're taking Bill Taylor's bombshell report and we're going to bring this guy in and Sondland in. What about what Kent just said against Joe Biden, reporting it to Joe Biden, and seeing the conflict of Hunter Biden, along with the fact that he felt prosecutors accepted bribes to close the investigation case into Burisma? Why, that would be enough smoking gun. Why, there's enough smoking gun for the Washington Post to do this. Hold on just a second. Sorry about that. Number one, Washington Post testimony puts Trump closer to scandal. Why doesn't Kent's testimony put Biden closer to scandal? Why not? He was Vice President of the United States. Number two, NBC News. Taylor says staffer overheard Trump ask Sondland about the investigations. Now, do you not find it interesting that Taylor had an amended testimony? Do you not find it interesting that Taylor had an amended testimony, and this is something that was not behind closed doors? Do you not find it interesting that this testimony, you know what I'm saying? Okay, if you're in a court, let me tell you what happens, okay? And I love for the attorneys. Send this out to all the damn attorneys so they can tell me I'm wrong. So you have a witness like this, and he's done a deposition, okay? And the deposition's been presented. Listen to me really close, folks, okay? Listen close. Maybe this happened, it didn't, but here's how dirty these people are and corrupt all across the board. It's so easy to point out. So you have depositions, you're going into court. You have to provide those depositions to the judge and the clerk within a period of time in advance. Then each attorney has to have a copy of the depositions. Each attorney, right? So supposedly they went behind closed doors and did these depositions. That's what they are. And then they released them so Democrats could have the depositions, Republicans could have the depositions in advance of the public hearing. So in advance of the public hearing, you could, devise your questions and know what the actual witness has sworn to in a deposition. So you could go back and say, but on page 32 in your deposition, you said this. Is that no longer true? Or do you still stand behind that? Whatever, okay? If you get the court, and he called it testimony, and your client wants to alter their deposition, and legally go on record with an amendment, the attorneys for both sides needs to go to the front to the judge and say, Your Honor, and the defendant needs to say, Your Honor, I don't know what he's about to say. I don't know what you're trying to amend in the statement. I don't know what it is, but we haven't had advance notice of this. We haven't had a chance to look at what the witness is about to say, and we don't think there should be any amendment to the deposition at this time unless he wants to go back and go sworn and we redo this in 3 or 4 days with advance notice. Okay. You can't bring in certain things without having an opportunity for the other side to vet it and then actually defend their client. So yesterday, this guy comes in and says, oh, by the way, I found out something new. I mean, a guy just popped in my office and said, boss, maybe I should tell you this. I've been sitting on this wondering, when did Taylor know about this? Did Taylor know about his associate there, the guy that has this new major evidence that puts Trump closer? You think anything here adds up? Hell no. Taylor says staffer overheard Trump ask Sondland about the investigation. This is amended testimony. This is amended testimony. It gets to sit out there for a couple days because guess what? The staffer is going to testify. When? Later in the week, Friday. How? Behind closed doors. They're going to take this individual. The news is running all of this as evidence. This is, according to the media, this is evidence, okay? This is damaging testimony, according to the communist Chris Wallace. So his associate's going to testify to overhearing Sondland's conversation with the president about investigating the Bidens, okay, behind closed doors. How many times are they going to let people go behind closed doors and come out and then amend their deposition? It doesn't happen in the real world. You don't get a shot. You don't get a shot. When did they remember it? Number 3. No, not 3. Sorry, don't go to 3 yet. Go to number 8. So Jim Jordan yesterday, right? Jim Jordan says, hey, let's get the whistleblower in here. I would like to talk to the person that started all of this. And then, then we have a smart-ass Vermont, all right, Representative Peter Walsh, okay. So Jim Jordan says, let's get the whistleblower in here. Let's get Eric Charmella right in here, sit down. Let's ask him the questions. Let's go to number 9. Representative Peter Walsh suggests Trump can testify after Representative Jordan questions while the whistleblower won. So when Jordan says, let's get the one that started all this smart-ass Representative Peter Walsh says, hey, we can get the one that started this. We'll invite the President of the United States to come right on down here and do this one. And then we have the absolute lie of the day. Okay, let's go to that last video of Adam Schiff.
Just to ask a clarifying question, do you anticipate when we might vote on the ability to have the whistleblower in front of us, something you, of the 435 members of Congress, you are the only member who knows who that individual is, and your staff is the only staff of any member of Congress who's had a chance to talk with that individual. We would like that opportunity. When might that happen in this proceeding today?
First, as the gentleman knows, that's a false statement. I do not know the identity of the whistleblower, and I'm determined to make sure that identity is protected. But as I said to Mr. Conaway, you will have an opportunity after the witnesses testify to make a motion to subpoena any witness and compel a vote.
Well, I tell you what, when you were growing up and you didn't want to get struck by lightning if you lied, and pants on fire. I mean, we are not understanding exactly why Adam Schiff didn't just ignite right there on the spot. Only member, and the only one, your staff, only you and your staff know the identity, have contacted. I don't know the identity. How does he go on? How does this guy go on looking at the American people lying that he does not know the identity? Why don't he just say, I happen to know the identity, but because of whistleblower law or regulations, I cannot share that with you. How do you do that? We're going to come back. Let's end impeachment just for a minute, okay? Well, let me say this before we go. So yesterday, after the impeachment debacle, I watched a lot of it. Castro, Swalwell. I actually thought Will Hurd did a pretty good job. Ratcliffe did a good job. Nunes did an amazing job opening up. I watched Jim Jordan, and we'll get a couple more clips of Jordan. I mean, we'd like to show a lot of them. We'll watch Jim Jordan, but absolutely, today, keep in mind, the bombshell today is not, okay, what came out of behind closed doors, okay? Just pay attention to this for me. Okay. Number 20, Ratcliffe. Go through these real quick. Republicans label impeachment witness testimony as hearsay. It was. Here's Nunes. Okay, hearsay. He's the ranking chair of the he's the ranking Republican member, number 19. Okay. Number 17, Kent. Diplomat George Kent accused Rudy Giuliani of trying to gin up political motivated investigations. What Rudy Giuliani did, what Kent and Taylor, and you need to understand, they're lifelong bureaucrats. I'm not going to say they're bad people. Okay? They were asked if they were never Trumpers. They said no. Okay? This gentleman here, I think he said he worked for 3 Republican presidents and 2 Democrats. So we're not going to go down the road of them not liking Trump, them not liking the president, never Trumpers, deep state. I'm not going to go down that road right now. I'm just going to go down the road is you got to get to know, like, the State Department. You got to get to know these ambassadors, all of their associates. It's very methodical, okay? All right? There's so many areas that the President of the United States can do whatever the President of the United States wants to do. Can do anything he wants, all right? Whether you like it or not. Seriously. I mean, he could deputize. If he bring you in, he could just pat you on the back and deputize you to go do something for him. Period. These people don't like that. Because their whole entire life they pull out, okay, so we're going to look into this, and that's going to require a 1231C-28B form. Let me get one of those. Go fill this out and give it back so I can attach it to the 1292D/87X that goes with it. And then I could assign you this next case. That's the way they've worked their whole life, okay? And then he says, hey, Julian, no, what happened is these guys were never told to go kiss their ring, okay? Number 7, you got Mick Mulvaney, Rudy Giuliani, Kurt Volker, okay, special envoy to Ukraine, Gordon Sondland, and Rick Perry. Perry is a cabinet member. Trump told him to go check something out, maybe. Ambassador Taylor names officials tied to irregular Ukraine diplomacy. Not illegal, it was just irregular. They didn't come in and fill out the forms. They didn't get their requisitions. They didn't sign out their spy camp, whatever the hell. See, irregular. That's not the way we normally do it. That's all it is a contest of wills within these offices and how they've done it for so many years. And Trump doesn't do it that way. And they call it irregular. But Trump does not have to go through every channel they think they should go through. You got Kent, and let's go back to him. You see that right there, what they called an irregular, okay? Irregular, number 17. Diplomat George Kent accused Rudy Giuliani of trying to gin up political motivated investigations. Now, we just watched a video of this guy going back 2014, 2015. He actually goes to the Vice President of the United States' department. He goes and he asks them, he says, hey, I don't like Hunter Biden being on Burisma. He has been looking into the corruption. He thinks the prosecutors, the government Ukrainian prosecutors, remember, Joe Biden fired one himself indirectly. He thinks that they were paid off, bribed to end the investigation. So this is somebody that's tried the investigation for years. This is a group that has known for years how corrupt Ukraine is. And they've been trying for years to investigate. They've been trying for years to tie the aid to an investigation and curtail the money we're sending them that they're stealing. But they couldn't get it done. Obama couldn't get it done. Biden was involved in the corruption. They didn't get it done. So Trump says, look, you've been trying this for years. I'm going to get it done. That's it. And they're trying to impeach the guy. And they're spinning something up that doesn't exist. That's as true as you can make it. Now, keep in mind, we are going to go to break. Keep in mind this, okay? We got a phone call. Let's go past that. We got a spy in the White House, which John Brennan, okay? Let's go past that. Brennan put a spy in the White House. Eric Charmella, which is claiming to be a whistleblower. They go over, they write this phony complaint up. They get it over to Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff holds it for the right time, releases it, then says, hey, we got to impeach the President of the United States. Now, they start down in the bunker testimony, claiming they're not doing anything else in this private testimony for depositions than the Republicans did in Benghazi, right? They did this for weeks. They released 21,000 pages of deposition, right? I don't know, right? They had a star witness, Bill Taylor. They had Lieutenant Colonel Vidman, fully dressed. They've got all of these stars. They got the depositions released, and the front page is not of depositions that have come out, is not of bombshells that were mentioned in those private weeks. Something brand new that they made up, absolutely, that was added to a testimony for the first time. And what does number 18, what does this lying, no good piece of crap do? Democrats argue that Sondland's phone call with Trump means impeachment probe must continue. So let me ask you this. Does this mean every day when they have a public hearing, they will come up with something that the media will carry the water, the New York Times and Washington Post, all of them, that say what? The impeachment must go on. Today's revelation means the impeachment probe must go on. Keep in mind, Mitch McConnell can stop this and should stop this, period. There's no way that what we saw yesterday should go to the Senate and spend 6 weeks of our time. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. Wonder who's getting in the Democrat race. We'll talk about that.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Ready. Hey, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, North Georgia's only live online morning show. There you go, 9 o'clock in the morning, 8:59. There's the phone number. So, they ended up with nothing yesterday, and I don't want to be a broken record, okay? I don't want to sound like Adam Schiff. So sorry about that. So sorry. All right, that's better. I got a lot to do between the breaks. We have other stories. There's a gay straight club up at Gilmer that they're trying to do. There's supposedly going to be a walkout. Gilmer High School supposedly has a planned walkout at 10 o'clock in the morning. Trying to deal with that during the break. All right. Ready? Okay. Here you go. Democrats argue, let's go back 18. And I want to get off this subject for a minute because I could do 2 hours on impeachment. Rush will lay it out beautifully today. I mean, I get to go ahead of Rush, which is great, but he'll lay it out today. So many will lay it out today. But I want you to think about this and your tax money and how outraged you should be. They've attempted to impeach this president since January, is it 20th, Inauguration Day, okay, of 2017. And every attempt has been made. Peter Strzok with the insurance, with McCabe, we've done the stories here, on and on and on. Anything and everything they could do to try to take this president of the United States down. And they've been unsuccessful. Nothing has ever come through. Nothing has ever panned out. Now, the actual impeachment, remember this, I want to bring it up. Remember the impeachment that Nancy Pelosi said she could not do or move forward without having bipartisan support. And remember when the squad went to Nancy Pelosi and freaked out on her that it was time to impeach. Remember Tom Steyer, all the list, it's time to impeach, it's time to impeach. So I want you to think about this on here. The media has done graphics. I mean, they have done graphics. Let me see if I've got one here. No, I do not. But the media has done graphics. They've held special CNN and all of them impeachment shows. They have hired people to come in and listen to the way the president talks, witnesses talk, each and everything. Nothing. They have done hours and hours of testimony down in the basement of Schiff's closed door testimony. Hours, 21,000 pages, all right? And yesterday, they had to resort to none other than Democrats argue that Sondland's phone call with Trump means the impeachment probe must continue. Why must it continue? How many days will there be in a gap between what Taylor did yesterday by editing or amending his testimony, all right, which is a deposition, which you can't do? How many days will this give the media to run with it until the closed door testimony comes out? When are we going to see that closed door testimony of presumably the other person? Are we going to see Sondland testify publicly first and then try to alter the other person into Sondland's testimony? Is Schiff making sure certain people see things at a certain time so they can alter things when necessary and what's needed? Are they rewriting the script daily to fit? Remember, they said they were going to put it in terms that the American people could understand it. Second, they moved it to bribery, right? bribery, extortion. And don't forget, they said they were going to paint you a picture. So every single day, are they going to change the picture they're painting? Are they going to stop and look at what they've painted so far to see which way they want to go next? But it's all a lie. So, that being said, I'm about to say something, and here's what it is, okay? I would like for the people that will really get offended to leave the room. Now, I don't think there's many people, I don't think there's many show hosts out there that will actually ask an audience to turn off the TV. I don't think there's many out there that will actually ask the audience, don't listen to this part. Because I'm about to say some things that are what I want to say, but may not be acceptable to others. Number 10. Former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick to announce presidential bid. Laugh my white ass off. Deval Patrick, of all people. 11. A new candidate for Obama's rightful heir. Ooh. 2 years ago, before the Democrat field began to coalesce, the ex-president himself urged Patrick to run. His rightful heir. Number 10. If you ever thought on one day Barack Hussein Obama liked Joe Biden's ass, you are crazy as hell. They are sitting up there laughing at that old white guy. Yeah. These two African-American brothers are sitting there saying, and you know, the white guy thought I liked him. The white guy thought he was there for 8 years for a reason. The white guy thinks that he can go and say he's the heir apparent to the Obama administration. So what really happened here? What is, and I think we have to ask it, we got to put it right in that frame and work on it. What is really happening? Now, did Deval Patrick, here's what is funny, okay? You're going to hear reports, and they're all lies. You're going to hear reports of, well, Deval Patrick said 2 years ago he was not going to run. He was urged, and he was not. Deval Patrick, all right, said when asked earlier this year, when the first two candidates said, no, I'm not going to do it. So you're talking about presidential candidates that have to have a lot of money, fundraising, right? You're talking about presidential candidates that have to build a team. Presidential candidates that have to put a staff. I'll go out there, team, staff, same thing, but this. So many things. Have to do fundraisers, have to build a bank account, campaign staff. Now, let me think of something. If everybody's in the race, Tom Steyer, Michael Bloomberg, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, if they're all in the race, does that leave any of the top tier campaign staff workers out there for Deval? Why would he not be concerned like getting in now? Would he not be concerned that like getting in now eliminates him from the opportunity of getting the good staff? Remember, there were several in the Big O team that ran down to try to help Francis for a little bit. Wonder where they'll shift Francis supporters to. I don't know. Okay, so with all that said, if you think, I believe for one day that Deval Patrick from Massachusetts, now, Elizabeth Warren is what? Senator from Massachusetts. What has happened down on Wall Street, right? What has happened at the New York Economic Club, Business Club? What has happened to the big CEOs when Bill Gates come out the other day and said, you know, something about taking all of our money? He'd have to open his eyes up on that one. So you think Elizabeth Warren is going to go out and talk about trillions of dollars she's going to take away, and she's in Massachusetts, and it is a coincidence that Deval Patrick is former governor of Massachusetts, gets into the race just in time for New Hampshire, the possible state that she could win. We'll take a brief break. We'll come back, okay? We're going to stay on this just a minute.
1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
I'm Jeff Riblet, president of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show, 9:15 in the morning. Phone number right there where you can contact us at any time. All right, get in touch with the show. And let's go back to, let's talk about this for a minute. Number 10, former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick to announce presidential bid. Now, we don't have time this morning to go into, and they will start today telling you how liberal and who Deval Patrick is, but let's go to a number 11, the new candidate for Obama's rightful heir. All right. So, Joe Biden. Now, I know what's going to happen when I say this. Every once in a while I say, do you ever feel sorry for Joe? And I know I shouldn't say that, and the answer is no. Joe has stole, him and his son have stolen millions of dollars from the taxpayers, been paid off, very corrupt, all the above. All right, so no, I don't feel sorry for Joe, but here, how many times, I did not say he was finished like Rush Limbaugh. Rush said he was finished. Rush said he was finished after the ABC, okay? After the ABC story on Hunter Biden and Burisma and China. So, why yesterday? Okay? Why yesterday? There's a couple things that we could look at why yesterday Deval Patrick. He is not going to have to divulge and get into the back and forth and into the fray of all of the polling data. Okay? Not going to have to. Now, they're going to run polls out immediately, but he's not going to have to. His name has not been on the polling data for the last 8 months, okay? His name has not been on the polling data. What do you think of him after he released his Medicare for All plan, all right? His name has not been on anything that says Green New Deal. Now, you're going to argue with me. You're going to say, well, there's an article here, there's an article there. No, in the daily scheme of these candidates, this guy's avoided anything and everything that has to do with anything. I don't know how that sounds. Nothing. Polling, standing on a stage, seeing how well he does not have to stand on a stage and put up with the likes of Francis O'Rourke. He does not have to be asked down at the end of the stage, well, Francis just said he'll take your guns. What do you think? He's avoided a lot. A lot. Now, he's not going to be, in what I understand, the Alabama and the Arkansas primary, which Obama's probably said that's not going to hurt you because no matter who wins that, it's not going to win it, period, in the general election. So you don't need to run down and see if you can win Alabama and Arkansas. You're fine. You get this nomination through New York. You get this nomination through, you get this nomination through New Hampshire, Massachusetts, New York, Vermont, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, right? Delaware, Maryland. This is Virginia even. This is where you get this nomination. Then you go up and you get this nomination from Michigan and Wisconsin and Minnesota. And then you flip out west to Oregon, Washington, and California. This is where you get the nomination from, not Alabama or Arkansas. Now, let me ask you another question, because we're going to stay on this, because this is actually funny. I mean, if anybody could walk up and sucker punch Joe Biden any better right between... You remember Biden wanted to take Trump outside? Okay? I'd like to take him out back. You know, when I was a kid, we'd take a bully, right? Remember Biden said he's going to beat him like a drum? I wonder if Joe's saying, whoa, wait a minute. So you're telling me that Deval Patrick, now New Hampshire, and don't get upset if I accidentally have somebody from New Hampshire, but it's a bedroom community for the Boston market. You live in Boston, you get out there to Massachusetts to live in the country, okay? So, that being said, this guy's former governor, right? Former governor of Massachusetts, Deval Patrick. There's Obama. We've seen enough of him. Let's go back to number 10, right? So what could happen is he doesn't have to worry about name recognition because he's got all the name recognition he needs, okay, in New Hampshire. That's still 100 days away, right? He don't have to worry about money or organization because he's got Obama behind him, endorsed or not. So he's got the money and the organization, all right? And let's see, there's something I'm missing here. There's something that just has not surfaced yet. What is it? Oh, the black vote in South Carolina. Huh, hell you say. Now, on this show, who has told you for how long, if you think I believe that South Carolina black Democrats can't wait to run and vote for a crusty old white dude, Joe Biden, I have told you that for a whole long, how long now? How long have I told you that? Right? Period. So Deval Patrick could pick up New Hampshire, could roll right into South Carolina, get that black vote, Joe, that you thought you were going to get. He's already got Obama's endorsement. He's got the money. He's going to get the staff behind him. Oh, it's also a slap in the chops to Pocahontas. Just say it. Elizabeth Warren just really got a slap right through the chops this morning. Her former governor there is running against her. Deval Patrick does not care if he can make it on the debate stage in Atlanta next week. He might be there, he don't care. New Hampshire, South Carolina, and then he is on a roll. He is going to excite the Democrats. They don't have a candidate. We have told you that. How long have we told you they don't have a candidate? Now, what if Deval Patrick picked, like, Michelle Obama for vice president? Interesting. Could Obama serve as vice president? I don't know. Maybe he can't run for president. Could he serve as vice president again? Could he? I mean, you could serve as vice president for 8 years and then turn around and serve as president for 8 years. Yeah, you could do that. Like, Mike Pence could be vice president of the United States for 8 years, and then he could be president of the United States 8 years. That's 16 years. Can you do it backwards? Can Deval Patrick run with Obama? Hell, you say. There's so many options with the black guy. I swear to God, he's got options. He is like that car that you could just keep putting them little options on. Deval Patrick, wait and see. We will see. Joe, Obama took your ass out back behind the barn and kicked it. Elizabeth Warren, Obama slapped you right through the chops. He is sitting there laughing today, saying, yeah, you guys thought. Never a vote has been cast. Nary one, as my dad would say, nary a vote, nary a vote. Nary a vote has been cast. But yet, Warren and Biden are in deep Adam Schiff doo-doo. I wonder what Deval Patrick has said about the impeachment over the last several months. I wonder what he said about the Green New Deal. Take a break. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
Hey, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I'm looking for a video, not one I want to play on the show right now, but I'm looking for a video. I'll try to find it in a minute. It had to come through, but I'll find it. It's not a problem. Let's see, is this it? I could always look for it later. There's the 19 videos or 19 emails from Dr. Whaley for tomorrow's show. Yes, tomorrow's show. We always have a show on Friday. All right, folks. Wow, that was a blast from the past. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. This is too funny. Now, I'm sorry. We're gonna end the show at 9:45 for a reason. I have some things I have to get ready for 11 o'clock meeting. I explained that to you. I'm sorry. We're gonna break a couple minutes early today. I have to get ready for an 11 o'clock meeting, and then I have a 3 o'clock meeting. Just so you know all my information, I have a 3 o'clock meeting. And then I'm going to be over in Murphy, North Carolina at Circuit World to produce a sports show at 7 o'clock. And that means I'm going to get done at 8, probably get home at 9. So there you go. So I had to get out a couple minutes early. Come back at 10 for the Freedom Zone. Show them that there. Candace has recorded a nice little take this morning. So the Freedom Zone, come back at 10 for that, all right? Right here on FYNTV.com. Now, that being said, now that you know every damn thing I got to do today, this just absolutely cracks me up. So don't put it up yet. Bernie Sanders just had a heart attack. You ought to know by now. Sorry. Mr. Can't run with a broken back. Whatever. Bernie Sanders had a heart attack. And we all love that. I'm sorry. You're wrong age if you don't get that. So he had a heart attack. And we are now, I mean, do you remember, this is so funny, and I don't care if you're a socialist, communist, or who you are, I don't go around wishing ill on anybody, so I'm not wishing ill on Bernie Sanders, but remember when CNN was bringing in doctors, remember early on, and they were bringing in doctors. It was Ronnie Johnson, the president's doctor there, that gave him a clean bill of health. Whatever happened to him, right? And you remember when CNN and all of them were bringing in the roundtable specialists and the psychiatrists and everything, and they were studying Trump's cognitive functions, and they were analyzing his work. I mean, they've done everything to this damn man, right? Where is the really deep analysis on can Bernie Sanders run for office? Can Bernie Sanders actually, can we be okay with him being president of the United States knowing he had a heart attack? So my prediction is that Bernie Sanders will pick AOC. Now the Democrats, we're going to have so much fun because, like Trump said, they're weird as hell, all right? And Trump may have kicked off the final straw, and I don't think so, to Deval Patrick. I'll say something else as I close with that. But the other day when he said, look, folks, they're crazy. They're crazy as hell. People know it. And the Democrats that, now I'm not talking about the Democrats out in Michigan and Wisconsin, the blue-collar guys and girls, okay? But Democrats in New York City and in the elite Democrats, they are cringing with the thought that Trump may be all they have to turn to. They are cringing in the room. These people that are really blue Democrats, they are absolutely cringing on a daily basis that they may have to deal with Trump because they're crazy as hell. Now, I feel AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, will become Bernie Sanders' running mate. Well, they're all chummy. They're chummy. It's the old socialist Jew and the bartender. Socialist Jew goes in a bar. Bartender says, "You come here often?" "No." Where's the joke? There is no joke in socialism, damn it. You can't tell a joke. I can't make fun of anything. So let's go to number 4. Tell me you don't love this, okay? After a heart attack, Bernie Sanders takes long walks and eats salads. I'm sorry. I should have never done this because this crap. Previously known to enjoy dinner Outback Steakhouse. I was just looking to see if that was really Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse? Why on the can? He liked to pull into an Outback Steakhouse. Where are we campaigning next week? Well, Monday we got 3 stops. How many Outback Steakhouses are there in those stops? Well, we got to go 30 miles out of our way. Don't worry, man. We'll buy the gas. We don't care about our carbon footprint because we're going to Outback and I'm going to get my steak. These are the people that you realize if the Green New Deal would come to full circle, they have no Outback Steakhouse to go to. On the campaign trail, Mr. Sanders is eating more nutritionally. Nutritiously, all right. Often asked at restaurants if they have grilled fish. I'm an old Jew. You got grilled fish? Got fish. I'm an old Jew. What you got? His most common order at Panera, a lunchtime go-to on the road, is soup and a salad. I just have soup and a salad. My doctor said, no more porterhouse. So Bernie has had a heart attack. And he's out there yelling about the Green New Deal, and he's asking if they got fish and soup and salad on the menu. Because Ocasio-Cortez, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says, what? Bernie, what's wrong with you? We have the Green New Deal. We're going to take everything away from everybody. Here you are eating these damn steaks. Just saying. Oh my gosh. All right, let me hit real quick while you're here with me. Let's look at some top. Let's see if there's anything on the top. Okay. Key takeaway for first public impeachment. GOP senators balk at lengthy impeachment trial. Okay. Deval Patrick enters the race. Democrats confront prospect of long primary. I want to see Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden's statement, and it might be out there. Okay. Let me write this. Let me see. It might be out there. Hold on. It might be out there. I want to see their statement. Let's see. There's a lot we didn't do today. I want you to take away for studying this afternoon. Exclusive bombshell documents released by Ukrainian General Prosecutor's Office reveal millions funneled to Hunter Biden and John Kerry. I want you to take a chance to look at that if you don't mind. Let's see if there's something else I want to get into. Yeah, I don't have time. Do not have time to go any deeper. Okay, first there's going to be an IG report. We're running a little early, but like I said, I'm going to go early. We're running there's an IG report coming out with Horowitz. Okay, it's going to be damaging. Very possible there's going to be some top criminal referrals. Very possible one of those top criminal referrals is James Comey. Watch and see. The reason that the timing for the Democrats to create this smokescreen, create this non-story, try to get you to believe that something's happening here is for no other reason than to have something to sidetrack you when the story comes out that the IG has released a report and there's criminal referrals. Let me make sure I didn't miss any of my story picks, and I'll go through those real quick. And, oh yeah, here's one. Go to number 3. We will go to the Supreme Court. Congress can seek 8 years of Trump's tax records. Court order indicates we're going to go to the Supreme Court on that. He's going to take that to the Supreme Court to try to get it stopped. Number 6, Erdogan was at the White House yesterday. Great relationship with the Kurds. Do you realize that every single, and I'm not giving it time today, respectful time myself, but do you realize every single press, you should go back, if somebody has the time and the staff to do it, we don't, but you should go back and look at every single press conference, okay, that this President of the United States has held, standing side by side with a foreign leader, and listen to the media that's gone after him about something that was non-related to the press conference or the meeting. Always going. They went after him, Theresa May, Kim Jong-un. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Pull up a press conference where they haven't gone. And what's going on with the Kurds? Are they all gone? Are they all dead? I don't know. Do they not? I thought they were so concerned about the Kurds. Okay. Don't forget number 13, impeachment hearing to resume. There is Chris Wallace of Fox News explaining, okay, the communist on how devastating Taylor's testimony was to the president. I tell you what, it's all made up. And here's number 14, last Not last but not least, new testimony implicated Trump in Ukraine scandal. Nothing at all. 15, Ambassador Taylor, new testimony implicates Trump in Ukraine scandal. Top story on NBC. Number 16, Taylor said staffer overheard Trump ask Sondland about the investigations at a restaurant. Hold on, I get some more dressing for my salad. Yes, Mr. President. No, it's not secure. No, I've got people sitting all around me. The place is packed. It's lunchtime. What the hell do you expect? It's a restaurant. Okay? I mean, this guy over here right across the table, he's listening to every word. This woman over here, I know, she keeps peeping over here like, what the hell's going on? The table, the waiter just came up. He paused for a minute wanting to hear what you said. At a restaurant. Woo! Damn. But obviously that's enough. Number 18. For this guy, okay, shiftless, to say Democrats argue that Sondland's phone call with Trump means impeachment. Probe must continue. See if there's anything I forgot. Think that's it. I'm going to go ahead, like I said, now tomorrow, we're not at Sycamore Cross. It's going to be very cold. So tomorrow morning, we will be at Circuit World in Blue Ridge. We will have Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. Okay. We will have the All-Star Political Panel. We will have, wonder what Jane thinks. I want a graphic. Wonder what Jane thinks. All-Star Political Panel with Jane, Bruce, and Rick, myself. Then after that, it'll be North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton, a Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall. And then after that, we keep going after that, and after that, we will have, who will we have? Pet of the Week, Humane Society of Blue Ridge. I'm your host, BKP. Like I said, we're going a little early because I have to be somewhere at 11, 3, 7, and then finally home. Take us out of here. We'll see you tomorrow morning.